he and his wife Marion opened Little Caesars Pizza Treat in 1959. It was the first in a line of Little Caesars restaurants that, by 1987, was serving pizza in every state of the Union. In 1992, Mike bought the Detroit Tigers. Round Table Pizza was also born in the booming 1950s. A cheese delivery man named William Larson borrowed $2,500 and, with a lot of hard work, turned this into this. The rest, as they say, is pizza history. An international chain of more than 500 pizzerias. Even Chicago's muscular deep dish style pizza, the American pie that has strayed the furthest from its Italian roots, has found its place among the ranks of distinguished traditional pizzas. And yet, handsome as they are, there is a certain old-world stuffiness to these time-honored varieties. They are the suit and tie generation of the pizza family. During the 1980s, however, alert pie watchers could smell a change in the wind. Suddenly, unheard-of ingredients such as crayfish, oysters, and dandelion greens had the nerve to show up on pizza. This new breed became known as California-style pizza in honor of its birthplace. Wolfgang Puck was among the first to make pizzas in this innovative style. Puck opened his exclusive Spago restaurant in 1982, where the signature dish was a pizza topped with smoked salmon and caviar. Spago was mostly reserved for Hollywood movie stars. But a chain of restaurants called California Pizza Kitchen, CPK for short, served this new brand of pie to everyone else. CPK was the brainchild of Larry Flax and Rick Rosenfield, a couple of lawyers who wanted to do something more fun than read legal briefs. Of course, that would be just about anything. But Rick and Larry chose to reinvent pizza, or at least do a serious remodel, based on the blueprints drawn up by Wolfgang Puck.
He creates a pizza. He takes 3 different kinds of cheeses and different sausages and things like that, and he creates a pizza you really got to taste. And it's great. You know, he does great pizzas, right. But you have to taste it to understand it. We went to a pizza, when you read the description, you don't have to taste it to understand it. You anticipate.
Oh, because you have a reference for these flavors. CPK borrowed popular flavors from the non-pizza world and gave them a starring role on CPK pies. Their Thai pizza featured the flavor of chicken satay, a favorite at Thai restaurants. Larry invited me to hang out while their chef made CPK's signature pie, barbecued chicken pizza, a tasty treat borrowed from the backyard barbecue grill.
Instead of laying down a tomato sauce, which would be more traditional, we put down a barbecue sauce.
So you're breaking away from the Italians entirely on this.
Took a whole left turn.
Right. CPK makes a hard left when it comes to cheese for this pizza also.
Smoked Gouda cheese.
Oh, smoked Gouda cheese? A little more
smoky.
See, that's very unusual. You would never think to do that. We added one familiar ingredient, mozzarella cheese. And then it was time for the guest of honor, barbecued chicken.
All white meat. It's been pre-cooked, so you don't have to worry about it cooking through in the oven. So, and sauteed with the barbecue sauce.
These California-style ingredients were tempting me beyond temptation. Unfortunately, my manners had taken the day off. Tina, that's not nearly enough. Here, give me some gloves. Tina, would you get me some gloves? Where are the gloves? I knew that this could get out of control, and once I had the gloves on, there would be no stopping me.
You got some onions?
Onions, yeah, onions, that would be nice. Luckily, Larry had some advice that finally brought me to my senses.
Now, even though you think you like a ton of chicken on it, one of the problems is if you make a pizza too heavy with ingredients, when you go to eat it,
oh yeah, you're right about that. And yet, there was one more ingredient I wanted to add. I was pretty sure it wouldn't add enough weight to turn this pie into a lat pizza. I feel like something green ought to go on there. Doesn't it feel like
you're very right.
I'm right, see, I'm right.
But we do it after it comes out.
Oh, you do it after, okay, cool. Even though I had become pretty handy with those pizza-moving paddles, I stepped out of Tino's way. Tino got our pie into the oven and gave it a little spin to assure that it cooked evenly. He was a virtuoso with the peel. While our pie was cooking, Larry told me about his infamous deviled egg pizza.
The cheeseless pizza with fresh deviled egg on it. It was very good.
Really?
But I stand by it.
Yeah, you do.
Nobody bought it.
When our pizza came out of the oven, I reminded Larry about his promise. Does anyone watching tonight remember Larry's promise? Now, what about that green? We spoke about green earlier.
The cilantro. We finish it with fresh cilantro.
The cilantro was on. Our pizza was all dressed up with one place to go. Cheers, guys. My new friends here. Cheer it out. Hey, excellent.
Not bad, huh?
That's beautiful. I can see why pizza fans in 5 countries and more than 24 states are lining up for CPK's pizza pies. Of course, you don't have to run a chain of pizzerias in order to dream up a custom California recipe. Avanti Cafe, just outside Los Angeles in Pasadena, California, has been making prize-winning pies since the 1980s. Avanti makes pizza with duck sausage, shiitake mushrooms, and even glazed apples. Avanti's popular seafood pizza is actually born without any seafood toppings. In the oven, however, the pie will get its first glimpse of the scallops and tiger shrimp that soon will be part of its life. Once the pizza and the seafood leave the oven, they get together for lunch. Someone else's lunch. Next, we'll leave California and hit the road. There's some unusual things to see, including the world's largest home-delivered pizza. Stay tuned. Well, we've learned how to make it, how to eat it, and where it all started. And now we're in search of the odd and the unusual. We're hitting the road. Buckle up, buckaroos. We're heading to Texas. That's right, the first stop on our road trip is Heavens Bistro, a small pizza company with big ambitions in Austin, Texas. Heavens Bistro gave itself a tall Texas-sized task. Make a scrumptious frozen pizza, but one that won't show up next week as your own personal body weight. So, while the pizzas taking shape before your eyes may look like they're fat-filled family members, these pies are lean and mean. According to Heavens Bistro, the pies rolling off their production line are at least 98% fat-free. And yet, these pies are so tasty that you still get to feel like you're being naughty and eating fatty food. You get the best of both worlds. No wonder they call it Heavens Bistro. Texas is turning out to be a real pizza-packing place. Our second stop is here, too. We're invited to a pizza buffet, one that just might set a Guinness World Record. Yeah, I know we're at a football stadium and this is a food show. Trust me, there will be something to eat. Texas-based CiCi's Pizza is celebrating the opening of their 500th restaurant, and they've invited, well, everybody to have some pizza. CiCi's is still waiting to hear from Guinness whether their giant pizza buffet has set a world record. But even in Texas, serving 16,000 slices to more than 3,000 guests at a 300-foot-long table is a pretty big deal. Okay, everyone, stow your tray tables and turn off all electronic equipment. We're taking off. Once I get the Winnebago to its cruising altitude, we'll head over to Madera, California for the next stop on our road trip. There it is now, the Pizza Farm. And no, it's not where pizzas are grown. Just the opposite. The Pizza Farm was started by third-generation farmer Warren Schmall to teach today's city dwellers that mushrooms, pepperoni, and other ingredients don't grow on pizza. Where do they grow? On the farm. This pizza-shaped farmyard is 120 feet across and divided into slices that are home to those plants and animals that make pizza possible. 10,000 guests visit Warren each year. They learn firsthand that everything on or in a pizza starts on a farm. Vegetables, crust, meat, cheese. We couldn't have any of them without farms. Thanks, Warren, and all you other farmers for making pizza come true. It's just a short flight to North Hollywood, California for our next destination. And no, that isn't the moon outside the window. It's a really, really big pizza. If you're looking for a pizza big enough to use as a campsite, you're at the right place. Arat Ajikanian is the big cheese at Big Mama's and Big Papa's, and you have to be big to toss these pizzas around. You're looking at the largest home-delivered pizzas in the known world. They measure a full 3 feet from coast to coast. You better be able to bench press 300 pounds if you want to toss one of these babies into the sky. You also have to be able to catch it. If you don't, you could be buried under the crust for weeks. Once the crust is stretched out, you lay it on a small aircraft carrier and begin to put on the toppings. Arat has no trouble finding his way around these pizzas, but new employees usually need a map to get the ingredients to the far side. And covering the entire crust with toppings can take anywhere from 2 weeks to a full month.
Open the oven.
You could light all the office buildings in the western United States with the electricity it takes to heat one of these colossal pizzas. But when it's done, Big Papa will feed a small army.
We have a contest. If 2 people can finish a Big Papa, minimum with 1 topping, in about an hour and a half, they would get $100 per person.
I would have ordered one of Arat's pizzas to go, but I don't think it would have fit into the Winnebago. And speaking of the Winnebago, as long as I've still got my wings taped on, we should fly to Italy. The World Pizza Championships are just getting underway, and this is something that we do not want to miss. Look, here's a pizza baking contest. As you can see, this competition has everything. A champion, a girl with green hair, the only pizza-eating dinosaur in captivity, and of course, judges. But instead of watching the judges chew, let's visit the pizza crust stretching competition over here. I don't know about you, but I'm getting dizzy. I think there's some pizza entertainment we should see. If you were ever torn between a career in pizza and one in showbiz, this is the place for you. And here's an entire team of pizza jugglers. I'll have to try this at my next pizza party. It might even be more fun if the crusts have toppings. I really do love a good slice of pie. Thanks a lot for watching The Secret Life of Pizza. My mother always told me, don't speak with your mouth full. Hey, Mom.